welcome back to Show of the Week with Outside Xbox. I'm Jane.
And I'm Andy. I can't believe Mike burned down the studio in the last show.
Okay, good stuff, let's go.
Mike, why is the kitchen on fire?
Which explains why we've had to move to this new studio.
It does look mostly the same though.
Yeah, but the couch is different and some stuff over there, you'll see. Oh, I meant to mention, congratulations on getting your own Wikipedia page, finally.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Let me see that. Andy, this is an 18th century brothel keeper, also called Jane Douglas?
That's not you then.
No.
Sorry, Andy, but Jane Douglas, the famed old-timey prostitute wrangler, is an entirely other Jane Douglas, who is not me. Maybe, though, she could be one of my ancestors, and if so, Abstergo Industries of Assassin's Creed fame are welcome to buy the rights to all the valuable ancestral memories buried in my DNA. You know, to turn into a video game?
Using Abstergo's incredible research into genetic memory, Animus gives you the chance to game within the past.
That is the deal with Aveline, the star of Assassin's Creed Liberation HD. Unlike the assassins of the other games, she's not an ancestor of Assassin's Creed's modern mascot Desmond Miles. Instead, Aveline is an unrelated assassin whose exciting life story Abstergo has made into a game. She is also, in case you couldn't tell from the dress, Assassin's Creed's first female lead. Aveline is the daughter of a French merchant and a former slave.
Oh, Papa, I'll take my rest when this life is exhausted.
You will hasten that end at this rate.
Who sets about foiling the Templars in mid-1700s New Orleans, where her mixed background makes her a perfect chameleon. Aveline can mingle with different parts of New Orleans society by dressing as a fancy lady who can charm guards or murder them with her parasol. Or she can dress as a slave who can avoid attention by toting a box around. But if you're anything like us, you'll spend most of the time dressed as an assassin because that's what we came for. That trio of identities adds an extra dimension in the places you are allowed to pick your disguise, but you do need to find a dressing station to do your Clark Kent to Superman change, and there's almost never one around when you need one. The world of Liberation, based around colourful New Orleans, is engaging and open, though not nearly so vast as Assassin's Creed 3. The gameplay, meanwhile, is less ambitious but more focused, concentrating on traditional stealth and assassination missions. Combat, meanwhile, is the usual blocking and countering plus fancy fight choreography. Look out for the nasty new machete. Assassin's Creed Liberation started life as a PlayStation Vita game. Now that it's been given a high-def spitshine for the big consoles, Liberation is a good-looking remake with the same tree-climbing, roof-running fluidity of a proper Assassin's Creed. That's Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, out now to download on Xbox 360, and Abstergo, if you're listening, I have several fascinating ancestors up for grabs for your next game. Make me an offer, yeah?
Hey Mike, so what do you make of this new studio?
It's amazing, check out the storeroom, you can see the new high-resolution textures we've got. And they've upped my polygon count as well.
Oh yeah, so it's like a HD remake then?
Exactly that. It must have been a great day in the boardroom of Big Games Corporation PLC when they realised they could sell you games twice, once in standard definition Blur-O-Vision, which might as well be a black and white silent movie with a live piano accompaniment these days, and again 10 years later in glittering HD. And best of all the nerds in engineering have to do is pull the big lever marked remake and an HD version pops out, right? Free money. Not quite. We remember Crazy Taxi as a bright, vibrant dash through a San Francisco-inspired metropolis, not as a place where polygons and textures go to die. The graphics aren't even the worst part, it's the fact that all of the character has been smashed out because of licensing issues. Clearly deeming it not worth the effort to chase the original soundtrack rights for a mere remake, Sega has stripped out the Bad Religion and Offspring soundtrack that was such an integral part of the experience. It's like replacing the Jaws theme with someone farting down a tuba. And whereas in the arcade and on the Dreamcast you were delivering your passengers to recognisable places like KFC and Pizza Hut, now you're dropping them off at places that just look conspicuously similar. Hey kids, who wants dinner at Pizza Hut tonight? I'll call a taxi.
Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
We get that it takes a little work to make a game look better for an HD collection. We didn't realise it was possible to make the game look actively worse. Somehow Silent Hill 2's iconic swirling fog that played tricks on your mind has been turned into a fine mist that is at once less scary and also fails to hide unfinished parts of the graphics, like this lake which just ends. There's also a totally unnecessary re-recording of all the voice parts in the game. Presumably the intention was to make it all sound more natural.
Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
Yeah, about that. If you're nostalgic for the adventures of mulleted 80s bros Billy and Ginny Lee, then 2012's XBLA version of Double Dragon is basically exactly the same thing. Same great hair, same great outfits, same great violence to women. Just try and ignore the fact that everyone walks around like one of their legs has gone to sleep, and that you'll hear Billy say Grand Slam approximately 4,329 times over the course of a single 2-hour playthrough. Grand Slam! We'd say it's worth it for the soundtrack, but you can find the whole thing on YouTube without the sound of ladies getting gut punched over the top of it. Let's say you've got two versions of your game, one of which is the original arcade version designed to skank people out of their quarters, and the other of which is a home version that has extra levels and enemies. Which one would you remake? Now guess which one Ubisoft chose to remake. It gets worse. The catchy soundtrack from the original was completely torn out, replaced with some bland nonsense, and the game didn't even have drop-in, drop-out co-op, which I'm pretty sure even the original arcade game had. Totally unacceptable. The latest re-release to stomp all over our precious memories is the Android phone remake of Final Fantasy VI, which is everyone who thinks Final Fantasy VII is too mainstream's favourite Final Fantasy game. The main culprit is the new visual style, which has smoothed out the detailed pixel graphics of the original, and, much like a Hollywood facelift, it's scrubbed out a fair amount of the expressive character in the artwork as well. Still, even if you can stomach the simplified sprites, it doesn't help that there's a honking great typo in the opening scene. Even I know Esper is spelled E-S-P-E-R, and I never learnt how to read.
Now it's time to share what you've said on the website, on YouTube, and in your tearful Golden Globe acceptance speeches.
Yeah, I can't believe Jennifer Lawrence didn't thank us. First up, your comments on our preview of Back to Basics alien horror game, Alien Isolation.
Finnykins likes the look of it. He says, "Oh my lord, I could kiss you, developers. Please, please, please be the Alien game we all deserve and been crying for."
John Williamson agrees. He says, "Man, looks like someone has finally hit the nail on the head with this one. You can't always be a flaming marine armed to the teeth. This should make for a very interesting game. Can't wait to get it."
They have flaming marines.
Yeah, like Frost.
Meanwhile, XX crap name XX has been preparing in the grossest way imaginable. They say, "My bowels are preemptively emptying."
Ew.
Right? Next up, the thrilling climax to the Oxbox Xmas Challenge, which was an incredibly slow scooter race up a mountain.
Oh, look at this. What's
Oh
this?
no! Oh god!
Ha, look at that.
Oh, I got lazy. I got
You broke
complacent.
way too much.
William Ross says, "Who words? Action packed."
Hey, stuff happened, like the bit 22 Warren P noticed. When that NPC hiker overtook Jane on the hill at 6:46, I literally peed my pants laughing.
There's a hiker who's overtaking me, Mike.
Rich 79 meanwhile says, "Fake, the real Jane would have shot Mike once he got to the top."
Of course. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Finally, your comments on our outtakes in our final show of the week of 2013.
Or book us a face on facebook.com/OutsideXbox.
And why not like this video? Because it's so good.
So slick and
Yeah,
professional.
exactly.
Got it in one. Sagan Not Pagan says, "I literally have no idea how they made it through the sleeping bag coffee scene. I couldn't keep a straight face once. Mike looks like a very happy caterpillar."
All right.
Tom Scholes chimes in saying, "One day Jane will wear her hair over her right shoulder and it'll blow our minds."
That's right, it's gonna be crazy.
Chris Hatter meanwhile says, "Jane is always right, the script is wrong."
Great! Comment section over then.
No, look, in the script there's...
No, I said comment section over.
and about 6 more comments to go.
That's it for Show of the Week, but between now and next Friday, drop us a line on Twitter or facebook.com/OutsideXbox and say hi.
And if you like the video, do hit like and also subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. All right, done. Hang on, is your hair on the right-hand side?
Mm-hmm.